more God of War for everybody, so...
I'll take those elven figurines,
What does
unless
he
you
want
got
now?
attached to them.
Oh. Oh, just this stuff. Okay. Gear, resources.
Want a yap before you head off?
Okay, let's see. What should I go do? That's the path, favors. The Elven Sanctum. Okay, let's see if I can go do that then. Track. Okay, so what's that? Let's see what that is real quick. Because I've already done everything in Vanaheim I can. Oh, treasure map. And what's
This
this?
crest. It's mine.
Vanaheim power. Okay, okay, cool. 5 of 6 family crest found. Okay, so what's here? The Elven Sanctum in Alfheim. The Eyes of Odin in Niflheim. Crucible in Muspelheim. And that's to return. So let's actually go do this side quest. And then we'll... Can I even get to that sanctum? Well, we'll find out. Let's find out, shall we?
Are we off to find that elven sanctum then, or something else?
We certainly can. But we do have something else that needs our attention. We found a Hofgufer out in the Barrens, my lady. In terrible pain. We freed it, but there's another intern somewhere beneath the Forbidden Sands.
A Hofgufa?
Hmm.
I haven't seen one since I was a
Hofgufa.
child.
What else? There's still that secret elven library in Alfheim.
Lead the way.
Well, let's see if I can even get to it. I may not be able to get to it. Kind of the issue with everything here is not so much that I don't have the ability to do it, it's just can I get to it to do it, is the question.
Kratos, tell me of an adversary from your homeland. It will serve us well if I understand more of your battle tactics.
There was Medusa, queen of the
There's a
Gorgons.
story for you.
Her gaze turned men to stone. A mirror would turn her own powers against her. Or you may remove her head. But that is the hard way.
Which did you choose?
The
The
hard,
hard way.
Forget I asked.
Oh, maybe I actually can get over here now. Maybe.
Much of the sand has been cleared away, but another storm rages beyond that pass, which must mean...
Another Hofgufer.
Oh, maybe I actually can do a couple more
It looks
things
as
here.
though the Light Elves sealed off this section of the Barrens. Why?
Luckily for us, a very considerate goddess has enhanced our magic chisel, and we can unseal it.
My, that is lucky.
The Forbidden Sands lay beyond.
Contested territory, according to Bela. And another storm to endure.
So both Hofgufas are over here. Well, the other Hofgufa's over here. Interesting. And there's also the Library of Forbidden Knowledge.
I remember when Freyr and I traveled to this realm as children. The desert was healthy and full of life back then. I can't help but fear that era has ended for good and our efforts here are futile.
It's a fair concern. Healing this land will take more than a pair of singing Hofgufer. But I have to believe, in the long run, we're doing right by Alfheim.
See, making a land quote-unquote healthy that's normally a desert. Well, considering the natural environment of a desert, all things considered, you know, the life in a desert survives on the...
Well, best we start looking for a way underground.
Keep a lookout for a cave!
Song of the Sands. Let's see. What's that? That looks like that Forbidden Sanctum I was told about. Yep, this is it. Dismount. And up. Chest. Awesome. And what's that?
Jewelry.
Oh?
Jewelry.
Put it on one of my horns. Let's see if I can pull it off.
No.
Let's see. What was in here that wants to... Let's see. That's the dark and light elves, or at least the dark elves. Fish, wind, dark elves. Okay, let's keep going.
An elven library.
An archive of knowledge.
No
Interesting.
sign of the light elves.
For now.
Maybe they've left for the day, and we can browse at our leisure.
I sincerely doubt that. Temporal significance. Okay, that's interesting. Temporal.
So, these are the Valine schematics, eh?
You know of him.
What is this? Find the pages of a lost town. Oh, sword hilts.
One of the most gifted dwarven smiths around. Until he developed a conscience, anyhow.
Well, that's one way to put it. Until he developed a conscience of what was right and wrong. But then again, a lot of creators don't always consider
These
rules of the sanctum. Okay. Okay. Kind of reminds me, funny, a creator who developed a conscience. It's funny. The man who actually is considered
the Elven War, but
the man
restricting
who's
their access
considered
only serves those who wish to prolong it.
Taking a page out of Odin's book.
Aye. Quite the advantage for the light elves.
It's funny, it reminds me of the father of chemical engineering. For those of you who don't know, the father of chemical... Yes! The father of chemical engineering is actually the same man who developed the G-Series nerve agent. And he actually came to loathe the fact that what his creation did. It's actually
Sealed, but there is an inscription.
the council.
The console.
Big Veer spoke of an exile of the same name. Odds are he'd like a gander at that particular text.
Okay. But he was either trying to make a pesticide or something else, and he ended up creating G-Series nerve agent. Well, at least GA.
All
What was
this
that?
knowledge of their
Cyclosarin.
ancestors.
What was it called? Cyclosarin or
history,
something? Because
poetry.
GB is actually
Sitting here.
sarin. Sarin gas.
Forgotten.
Sarin nerve gas.
What a waste.
But that, more or less, is kind of the story there. He's the father of chemical engineering.
Ah, it appears the librarian would like a word.
Do we have to kill her?
Sounds like she wants that journal back.
No.
Ow. Okay, let's go. Jump dodge. I was not expecting that, but let's do it. Spark Valor for the win. Nope. Dodge.
Shield strike now!
Darn it.
Come on, Kratos! Off your back!
Do I not? Oh. I didn't realize I never replaced my resurrection stone. Oops. Oh well. What I get for not paying attention. Now the problem is, truth be told,
Use a shield strike!
not right now. Come on, shield up, shield up. Need to roll away. No. And down.
Behind you! Look out!
No. Not letting that happen again.
Kratos! Are you okay?
Come on, dang it. Oh yeah, there we go. There's an old move that I really like.
Shield strike!
Ah, darn it.
Can't do this without you, Kratos!
Darn. No, I'm getting better. It's just what a pain to deal with.
Shield strike!
How am I supposed to shield strike that far away?
Nasty hit! Away from him!
Ow. Ow.
They're healing!
No. Finish. And what is it?
She's protecting them by hiding all this knowledge away.
Our ally wishes to read this journal. We are taking the book.
Alright, let's get out of here then. Sheesh.
I'm impressed. Thought you were going to end her.
When last we traveled here, after Faye passed, I killed an elf of great importance. The ramifications were dire for his people. I do not wish to make the same mistake twice.
Well, wisdom learned is wisdom gained. Can't honestly say I don't blame Kratos either. Well, the thing that the thing that's actually hard for me to say here is not so much that they're wrong here. It's just that there was an episode of Ben 10. I forget. It was the one when he was older, but there was an episode of Ben 10 where...
I see an entrance!
Where? Over there, I see it. Right there. But there was an episode of Ben 10 where the Forever...
must be under there!
Where the Forever Knights got their hand on this really advanced alien technology, and an alien who... This must be where the Hofgufa is, then. Can't see a way across from over here. I nail that damn rifle, though. But... But the alien sits there and says that technology is well beyond what Earth should have or should be dealing with. And one of the Forever Knights tries to... darn it, oh well. Tries to fire the weapon after it had been damaged. And when that happened, he kept pressing the button, and the alien's like, "No, stop doing that!" And you watch as this, this type of energy rifle just basically goes. Oh, what's the word I'm looking for here? Because supernova's not the right word. More like.
Appreciate our work here in the desert.
If I had to guess,
aye, hearing the Song of the Sands again is a rare privilege.
Oh, I'm trying to think of the best way to describe this. I guess a massive energy release that basically atomized the person who kept trying to squeeze the weapon, and he's like, "That's the reason why we don't let."
It is not of the Dark Elves.
An abandoned ancient settlement by the looks of it. Built long before the Lightwell creation.
Interesting.
Hive matter as well.
I'd say we're on the right track then.
This wall's breakable, but I can't get through it through here. And he's like, that's why you don't let people, civilizations who don't know what they're dealing with, handle this level of technology. It's
No
too...
effect. Perhaps a different arrow.
This kind of hive material is sensitive to sound.
And can I nail that thing with my blade real quick? I can. But you know, there's a very big difference between forbidden knowledge that quote-unquote should be forbidden, and knowledge.
When I last came here with you and Atreus, I assumed the absence of Alfheim's light was an aberration. I didn't realize it was covered by something.
Aye. And as far as the Dark Elves are concerned, it's that light column in the center of the temple that's the aberration. Just look at how old some of these surfaces are. Far older than the light well, or even our trapped Halfgiffer for that matter.
That's quite the empathetic perspective, Mimir.
Well, dangle from a burly god's backside for a few winters, and you'll find yourself looking for all sorts of new perspectives.
Oh, it's not like it's been all bad, Mimir. But he basically sat there and stated, technology and wisdom that is beyond your comprehension is dangerous. And, you know, when I was younger, I thought about it, you know, that's pretty... My first thought was, oh, that's pretty, what was I thinking? You know, that's pretty, my first thought wasn't it was discriminatory, it was shallow. But now that I think about it, and you think about how our society is nowadays, and it's like, you know, it's not wrong. I mean, how many people here can't even handle those who disagree with them? Now, there'll be those who sit there and say, what do you mean, those who disagree with them? And my answer to that is straightforward.
Well, there you go.
Think about... My answer to this the answer to this question is, think about all of the...
Behind you, Kratos!
Uh-oh. Who? Where? Ugh, wretches.
Brother, the wee bastard's about to explode!
And, you know, the thing that I had to come to realize was that not everybody can handle different knowledge. Not necessarily different knowledge, but cannot handle perspectives that are... There's a hive thing here, isn't there? Can't handle knowledge that they don't agree with. Darn it.
Come on, Kratos! Off your back!
Still don't have that resurrection stone, and I probably need more hack silver to get it. But it's
Another wretch to the left!
it's the concept of not necessarily the unworthy. It's not even the concept of the unworthy who are not worth of knowledge. It's actually quite the reverse. It can these handle knowledge that they are unwilling to accept. Now, I can already hear some people saying that's not true. And my answer to that is, think about all the woke people who can't even who sit there and rely on misogyny, xenophobic, who rely on all of the quick, what are they called? What are they? Just basically the isms kind of thing. Racism, sexism, phobia, Islamophobia, blah 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 blah. They use wretches. They use all of those. Uh-oh. They use all of those They basically use all those zing words to more or less say stuff and then to get away with it. And bones, breast scrapes.
Behind you! Watch out!
Where? Light elf here? I thought they were all dead. Interesting. And there'll be those who disagree with me, but my answer to that flat out is, think about it for a minute. You have people who can't even hear a difference of opinion. Like, think about all that Turning Point USA stuff where you have socialists challenging people like Charlie Kirk and Ben Shapiro, and they're sitting there asking them, okay, here's this problem. What's your solution? No, that doesn't work. Or here's statistical proof that what you're saying doesn't work. Or hell, even think of the whole feminist thing, where you have men who sit there and say that, gender studies people aren't necessarily lying, but they really don't understand the whole situation of things. Now, people will sit there and say that's misogyny. And, they sit there and say, okay, well, question for you. What about fathers' rights? Fathers...
Territory changes hands often in Alfheim.
So it appears.
Big Veer did mention that these ruins have historical significance for the Light Elves. I assume they're only here to keep intruders out.
And, you sit here and bring up the question of fathers' rights.
I suspect the corpse below would disagree.
What's it say? Sacrifice, okay. They sit there and claim fathers' rights is within, feminist ideology where they want men to have an equal share at the table, yet you don't see them fighting all that much for it. Now, I'm not going to get cynical here and make a broad claim. That's pointless, in my opinion. Not weak, but pointless. Because the truth is that, well, to be blunt, the truth has always been those who vote have always had more power. And the thing that a lot of people often forget,
let's continue, shall we?
Is that a lot of the people who have voted in the past and in the future, when you look at the statistics for voting, women actually vote more than men do. Well, not exactly, but women's vote are more likely to change than a man's vote. There's a chest over there that I can't... So I'm not going to be able to get through there. Maybe if I go up here and come around this way. Okay, I do need to come around this way. That's what I needed to do. But historically, women's voting has been more of the... I don't like what this person says, or I don't like this scandal, whatever the case. And women's vote will often be the vote that changes. And that's been true throughout statistics. Now, when women were first given the vote, a lot of what actually happened for some was that when women first went and voted, they went and voted, but they only voted for what their husbands told them to. And I imagine there is some I imagine there is some truth to that. I'm pretty sure that it's not completely true, but I imagine there is some truth to it. Now some people will I can already hear some people screaming and saying, you know, of course it's true. Women didn't...
Behind you, Kratos!
Where? Right there. Light elves. And my answer to that, more or less, is that not everybody, there are people who vote with their what they believe, and then there are those who vote with their feet. And the thing that we have to remember is that voting with your feet has been some of the most powerful reasons to do so. And
I hope freeing these Hofgufas will allow them to breed again. It's a dazzling display once. The skies of Alfheim filled with their song.
I imagine it's the lack of fresh light that's caused this pair to grow
but
up.
No
use in having
you know,
babies
I mean, I still remember my U.S. government history teacher sitting there telling me that the reason why prohibition was passed was because women were sick of drunken men coming home and beating up on their wives. And the truth is that the reason why prohibition, at least in my opinion, was passed had nothing to do with what was going on with women. It had more to do with what was going on in the world. Because a lot of people forget when prohibition was passed right around the the Hofgufa. Okay. Look at that. Money. But a lot of people forget, but when prohibition was passed, you know, you have to ask yourself a question. Is there another reason for an event like this to happen? Now, I can already hear some people arguing.
These two comprehend the choice they face once free.
What choice do you speak of?
The life cycle of the Hofgufa. In order to breed, they must pass on their light to their children.
And without light, they will die.
I suppose that's all any of us can hope for in the end. That our death has purpose. That we can live on through our children. Given another chance, I know what choice I would take.
Okay. But the thing that a lot of people often forget, especially when it comes to others, is that a lot of people make their own choices. And some of those choices can be good, some of those choices can be bad. But a lot of people often tend to forget that, you know, there are other reasons for things to happen. And, you know, when prohibition was enacted, you know, people will sit there and say, oh yeah, what was going on in the world when that happened?
Well done. Time to set it loose.
And the thing that a lot of people forget is that when prohibition was enacted, there was a massive amount of immigration to the United States. Now, people will wonder, what do you mean? And the answer to that is, remember, there is a thing called the Irish potato famine. Watch out. And during the Irish potato famine, a lot of the potato crops in Ireland had been severely decimated, so so badly damaged, so the Koroks have been so decimated that a lot of people forgot that there were a lot of people who were starving. And the thing that you have to remember is when people are starving, you know, if you can and you have the money, what do? You leave the area where the famine, where a lot of this bad stuff is happening. And when you leave, you take everyone in your family who can go with you. And you often leave behind those who either unwilling to go or can't go. You know, it's just not
Used in many of Freyr's blessings, I imagine.
and Whispering Slab. Wish I knew what to do with those, but I imagine it's some type of Nemean. Oh, finally. Finally, Nemean Crush. I love how all of the Blades of Chaos get all the Greek references. It makes sense. But a lot of people forget that the potato famine was happening and there was a massive amount of immigration to the United States of a bunch of Irish people, of a lot of Irish immigrants. And
these creatures, it reminds me of a story.
Does it?
What story is
was
it?
A blacksmith
Oh,
whose king commanded him to construct a box that contained all the evils
Hephaestus
of
and
the world.
Calliope.
But no metal could hold such power. So the blacksmith used the flame of...
Is this a story meant to ease my grief?
Perhaps it is just a story. A way to pass the time.
I appreciate the sentiment, but, well, your stories,
What about my stories?
I wouldn't exactly call them a comfort.
Mimir is the better storyteller.
Now, don't sell yourself short, brother. You've come a long way from the days of laconic fables.
Laconic.
It's okay. Finish your story, Kratos.
The blacksmith's daughter was the key to unlocking the box. He died trying to protect her from those who would open it.
Well, at least it's a relatable story.
Where did the axe go? So maybe I need to go up on the wall to figure this little gem out. Can't throw it from here, so I go up from here. Oh, chest. Cool. But the point I'm trying to make here is that more often than not, a lot of politics or things that affect countries, there are other international components. Like the whole point of women getting the vote had less to do with women demanding the vote and more due to the politics at the time, where you had a bunch of Irish Catholics coming into the country. And, you know, some people will sit there and say, they're Catholic, that doesn't matter. Well, you know, nowadays, religion doesn't have, well, for some communities, religion has a lot more weight.
It appears we've overstayed our welcome in Alfheim.
Uh-oh. Was that Dark Elf? Where? Dark Elf. Oh, activated my ability. But, you know, often people forget how much
Time to end this storm.
country laws are affected by history of what happens. And, you know, it's kind of crazy, because when you think about certain choices country-based, like, that's stupid. You just destabilized your country. Yeah, they destabilized their country, yeah. But did it stop the aggressors from outside the country from coming in? Or did it stop a particular group of people who were making problems for their country? Yeah, it actually did. Or did it prevent certain ideologies being believed? And, you know, that's something a lot of people don't really understand. Is that the truth is that in a lot of cases that certain decisions we would call dumb were actually caused by international.
Stories are of no comfort. Take solace in knowing you did what you thought was best for your son's safety. Even these creatures know there is little choice for a parent. You are not alone.
Yeah, I understand that feeling.
I've
got kids myself.
And now neither are they.
And, you know, you want to go protect your kids, but there's not always a lot you can do to protect your kids.
Wow, didn't know I could get misty. It's beautiful.
Interesting. Very interesting sound that these Hofgufa make.
Thank you, Kratos. This land sings once more. We've done good here.
Yeah. Okay.
No rush to leave yet, is there? Who knows what kind of adventures await us in a freshly lit Barrens?
Wow. They did pass on their light. But anyway, the point is that so many times countries have been afflicted. People say
I've
that.
always wondered, why was Freyr so revered here so quickly upon his first arrival?
Well, to begin with, it wasn't his first arrival. Very few know this, but Freyr was one of the earliest visitors to Alfheim,
Really?
back in the dawn of realm travel.
Oh, bit before my time. Do tell.
We believed for a long time that all the giants had died in the flood, until one of them appeared in Vanaheim. Her name was
Looks like there's
Gerd,
something to investigate
and
right
she
there.
came offering to teach us the secrets of traveling between realms using Bifrost light. Freyr became immediately infatuated with her. He always yearned to wander, and along came someone who could truly show him how.
Ooh.
So, wander they did, exploring the world tree from root to branch. But one day, it came time for Gerd to wander away.
Aw,
Freyr
poor
was
boy.
heartbroken, and resolved himself to perform some great feat to win her back. He set his aim on the grandest of gestures. He intended to be the first to find the elusive source of Bifrost light. And he succeeded,
here,
although quite by accident. Freyr believed he navigated best while fortified by a potent blend of Vanir herbs.
Oh, jeez.
When he wandered, he wandered.
Wow.
And he managed to wander from the World Tree directly into the Lake of Souls. The elves have never seen anybody come out of the lake before, so it got some attention.
Oh, that is bloody hilarious.
I don't know whether he worked his charms at that point or they just assumed him to be a great deity. But of course, he hadn't made this journey in search of responsibility, so he didn't stick around long. Still, the legend of his manifestation was passed along through the ages. It even endured after the Great Division, remembered by light and dark elf alike. So when at last he returned, he was uniquely situated to gain the trust
The
of
drunken
both sides and help to
buffoon.
create
I
the
love
truce.
it.
The problem was,
Oh,
both
gee.
sides trusted only him. So the peace could only last as long as he stayed around to keep it. And with the long war dragging on without an end in sight, I suppose
The
making
drunken
any kind of peace
buffoon.
was
I
an
love it.
irresistible notion for him. He hated having to rule.
The drunken buffoon, I love it. He was drunk on Vanir herbs, and he decided, wee, let's go. It's like one of those stories. And we started drinking from Gabriel Iglesias. Martina and I. The best stories always start that way.
Ahead of a great battle in your homeland. At a place called the Gates of Fire.
Ah,
Gates.
Thermopylae.
No,
Is that regret in your voice?
I did regret not dying there for many years, but no longer.
The Gates of Thermopylae. Oh, but isn't that one of the greatest stories? Well, I got drunk and somehow I ended up... Is that statue going to start moving? Or after I destroy the raven? Well, that thing's not moving then. What's this?
Another sleeping troll, courtesy of the dwarves.
Well, that's good. Historian. Lore markers. So how do you awaken these trolls, I wonder? Or would not want to wake them at all. But the thing that a lot of people often forget is that so much of what happens in the world can be caused by international events. I see. There's a...
Why do you yawn?
Force of habit, I suppose. Since
Okay, one, yeah, scout
More
2.
confounding that I'm the tired one. I've seen you stay awake for days at a time without so much as a drooping eyelid. Not even a nap.
Gods do not nap.
Tell that to Thor.
Okay then, let's see. Is there a way up here then? Because I can't, there's no way to actually... if I had to guess... Okay. There. There. And there maybe? Should do it. Yep, that did it. See, there's one. The other one's over there. But back onto topic is, you know, no one really seems to understand. Well, not understand. Wait. No, wait. No. Before I go get that one, I need to get that one. No one seems to. People don't seem to. Well, I wouldn't say understand is the right word. I think the better word is forgotten. Just how much a country's politics revolves around what's going on in the world. I don't like it that much, mind you, myself. But it's the truth that... Is that a counterweight? Or is this the way up? No. Let's see, that's there. So, assuming... So, if we can make that one there... If that works. Okay, that didn't work. Got it. But, you know, people will sit there and say, why was Prohibition done when a bunch of Irish people immigrated to the United States? And, you know, the sad answer to that question has more to do with Protestant belief than it does actual real politics. And a Yoon apple. Awesome. But it has more to do with that then than now. But a lot of people forget that Protestants well, for a lot of for this country, it actually goes back to the initial foundings of this country, because a lot of the foundings of the country of the United States of America, the first settlers who landed on the East Coast, which would later become New Jersey, New York, Maine, and a majority of your eastern coastal city, not cities, states, a lot of the people there were not originally, they were originally Puritans who were trying to get away from what amounts to getting away for a more pure belief in religion, and to get away from what their fellow countrymen were doing. I mean, it wasn't until Adam Ruins Everything here came out with the fact that Christmas was not to be celebrated in the U.S. by the Puritans. Now, some people will sit there and say that's impossible. Well, according to history, what was, originally a lot of people, now people will sit there and say, that's a load of hogwash. Christmas is celebrating the birth of Christ.
A statue of my brother.
Freyr's gift.
That's
But
odd. The runes are dark.
What purpose does all this serve, other than a testament to my brother's vanity?
Difficult to say without an inscription. But it looks like the elves built this place together, light and
Interesting.
dark. Which means this would have been their first act of cooperation in generations. A
Interesting.
far cry from lasting peace, but perhaps it served as a monument. One that symbolizes the potential for peace.
See, that's a lot of crystal. But, a lot of people well, I don't know if the term is forgotten or just don't care. But the thing that a lot of people don't really seem to care much for nowadays, or at least from my perspective, they don't seem to care, is what goes into making massive political changes. And oh shoot, I lost my train of thought there, my bad.
This statue may have survived Freya's absence, but a truce clearly did not. Monuments are useless to those who ignore their message.
He didn't create a truce through diplomacy alone. His godhood, his very presence is what healed this land and allowed peace to take root. But once he left, he had to have known what would happen.
Well, he had good reason to leave. Some jackass convinced his sister to marry a madman.
Well, at least Mimir's willing to take the blame for that one. That's good. But, oh darn, what was I talking about? Oh, that's right, how international events affect people. Now, the thing that a lot of people often forget, about why it came down to Catholic versus, not necessarily Catholic versus,
These crystals contain their own light.
interesting.
You're right. Normally we'd have to provide our own. Perhaps slotting a crystal on the opposite side could shed some light on this mystery.
So if I take this, does the bridge disappear? So I can't take this one. So I need that one back. Okay. Can't need that one back then. Because it's just a little trick with the crystals. So all you gotta do, I have to pull this one. Put it up top over there, grab that one and set it over here, and set it back the other way. Simple puzzle, but annoying. Okay. So then where's my little glass mirror thing that I need to hit that? Or, oh wait, no, it's crystallized bifrost, my bad. But you know, people sit there and say, why is that? And, you know, the answer for that complex, is complex and simple all at the same time. Because the truth is that the United States was founded on Puritan beliefs. And because they were founded on Puritan beliefs, the thing you have to remember about Puritans oh, that's where it is. Okay, so put that down here. But the thing you have to remember about...
Why restore this one?
It was hidden for some time. Perhaps now it can serve as a reminder.
Aye. Nothing reminds people of their history like chiseled, well-lit marble.
But... But the thing you have to remember about the United States is that it was founded upon Puritan beliefs. And, you know, one Puritan belief, aside from not celebrating certain holidays like Christmas, now people sit there and say Christmas is about the birth of Christ. Not exactly. Because a lot of beliefs stem from what we call now from what we now know as paganism. Now, people will sit there and say paganism, isn't that what people believed in before Christ? And the answer to that is not necessarily. People often forget that Christianity is an Abrahamic religion. And Abrahamic religions all have their base in the belief in ancient Judea, or the ancient Jewish people.
That did something.
And
The ring of crystal shards glow.
Looks like you can read the inscription now as well.
And the thing that often people forget is that, you know, they call it paganism now, but...
Light from the crystals. It is in the sand now.
Would you
Interesting.
look at that? Freyr's gift endures after all. Or should I say, his presence?
Huh.
You are not
Interesting. What does this say?
Good thing you learned the runes, brother.
What does it say? Enlightened one. In the honor of the Enlightened One, may his gift shine eternal. May his light serve as the beacon of harmony. May peace endure among the elves, as we ever bask in its radiant glow. In other words, he gifted them, or at least from the perspective, he gifted.
Freya was actually here. The peace was fragile. Surely a bit of extra light in the desert isn't enough to make it last.
Before I met Faye, I could not imagine a life of peace. After her death, in our travels to Jotunheim, I found peace on my own. It remains my responsibility to make it last.
That's
Perhaps
true.
the elves will find peace again one day, even without Freya's guidance.
His presence continues to guide them, whether they realize it or not.
But a lot of people often forget that, you know, just in terms of puritanical belief, I mean, you know, think about, I mean, you know, if people really want to say, oh, that's hogwash, well, think about this. Martin Luther, not Martin Luther King Jr. here, folks.
Must open something around here.
Martin Luther King Jr. Not Jr., sorry. Not Martin Luther King Jr., Martin Luther. Martin Luther caused Reformation in the Roman Catholic Church when he was in what amounted to modern-day Germany, where he took...
Or Midgard even. Becky and Svanna could use the company. We have kennels.
It would not go well for them. Once a predator becomes accustomed to a land, it is cruel to move them.
I suppose you're right.
Honed
Just seems
metal.
lonely out here.
It is peaceful. They have each other. It is enough.
But, you know, the Catholic Church was doing a bunch of, you know, dirty things. No, I
Another
don't.
key, eh? Sooner or later, we're gonna have to find a lock to put them in.
Dirty isn't the right word. The word nowadays would be unethical nowadays. But the Catholic Church was more or less making a bunch of unethical promises. Oh, cool. Picked it up already. Was making
You know,
a bunch
Freya
of...
loved to breed Gulong pups in Vanaheim. I wonder if these two are the
What is that?
What the hell?
A phantom!
Whoa!
Magic! Aim for the runic core!
Bloody hell! Look at that
It's
thing!
vulnerable when it glows!
Attack!
Oh. Oh shoot, I need to... There we go, I swapped the right arrows and I need the,
Alpha!
Nasty!
ah!
You alright, brother?
Bad. Okay, I need to hit it with the arrows.
Alpha!
I guess I have to dodge. Ooh. Ooh.
Alpha!
Ooh, ooh. But I was not expecting that to happen.
Above you! Watch out!
Mini boss show up right now. But, you know, a lot of... But it's fair to say that a lot of people have forgotten.
Close in! Attack!
Kratos, the springs! Bring them down!
Springs. Dang it. Okay. But
Close in!
Weaken!
Attack!
but you know, a lot of people have forgotten.
Nicely done! Keep on it!
Back up.
Nicely done! Keep on it!
But a lot of people tend to forget.
That's it!
Dang it. But it's, you know, I mean, darn it. Probably should have gone to the blacksmiths. Oh well. But a lot of people forgot that, you know, when Martin Luther nailed his list of complaints about what the Catholic Church had been doing on that church door in Germany, you know, it caused a massive amount of upheaval in the known world. Not because what Martin Luther did was so egregious. Now, there might be those at the time who are Catholic might have said he did, but what he did was actually bring forth the problem. And the problem that was going on back then that isn't Well, it could still be considered a problem now. But the problem... But the thing that a lot of people often forget is this.
Ever written poetry of your own, brother?
No.
Well, ask a stupid question.
But, you know... Alright, let's do this without the...
What is that?
A phantom! Rune magic! Aim for the runic core!
Bloody hell! Look at that thing!
But the thing that'll...
Vulnerable when it
Ow. Fucker. But the thing, again, if I don't have to keep dealing with this.
Kratos, the springs! Bring them down!
But the thing that a lot of people often forget.
That's it!
That's one. I gotta deal with it again. Where'd it go? Oh, it's still down? No, it's not. Where'd it go? Oh, it's gotta come back over this way. But... Ow.
Vulnerable when it glows!
More arrows, arrows.
Close in! Attack!
But, you know, a lot of people forget just how much
Weaken!
Attack!
forget how certain types of international events cause things to change. Now, that being the case, where's the last pillar? I need to find it. Otherwise those battles can go on forever. One was there, one was there. Where's the other pillar?
Behind you, brother!
Whoop. Come on, where's the other? Bingo. Okay. Let's bring this thing over here so we can finish it off. Darn it. Darn it. But often people forget that, you know, certain events were caused by international events. And, you know, as I was stating earlier, you know, Christmas as a start, you know, it originally had nothing to do with Jesus. It was originally a celebration of the winter year, so to speak, because a lot of what Christmas celebrates is about Yule, and you know, not it. Now, some people will sit there and say that, well, Yule is a pagan holiday, but a lot of people often forget that in terms of history, a lot of celebrations that took place were often celebrations based on the older traditions of Yule, like Halloween, All Hallows Eve, that was actually a celebration held in around the time of
That's it!
was held around the time of was held around the time of the fall solstice, you know, right around the end of October to November. And, you know, a lot of people sit there and say, well, what does that have to do? And, you know, the answer is straightforward and simple. A lot of modern holidays that are celebrated in the West are based on the holidays that were celebrated in the pagan cultures. Now, a lot of people sit there and say, you know, that's a lie, but you know, the truth to that is that it's not a lie. And, you know, all you have to do is look at the name. Christmas was originally Christmas, celebrating the birth of Jesus. But where did Christmas get its original intentions? It came from Yule. Yule was celebrated somewhere around the winter solstice. Was celebrated around the winter solstice. Was celebrated around the winter solstice. Was celebrated around the winter solstice. Rip this thing apart. Dang it. But Yule was celebrated, and then, you know, when Christianity became the primary religion around Europe and the like, you know, it was, why are we still celebrating these pagan holidays? So they gave them more Christian-like themes.
A phantom! Rogue magic! Aim for the runic core!
Bloody hell, look at that thing!
It's vulnerable when it glows!
Nicely done! Keep on it!
And, you know, these holidays were celebrated like that for a very long time. And it was
Brother, the strings! Hurry!
That's it!
but that's how a lot of these holidays were celebrated.
Attack the world!
Nicely done! Keep on it!
And, you know, Yule was a celebration around the winter solstice, and it was to celebrate, you know, hopefully the coming of a good year, the coming of a new year, kind of thing.
Keep on it!
And it was to celebrate that. And it was often done together by bringing a community together, and the community would come together and they would bring gifts that of their trade. You know, like a blacksmith might bring a very nicely created, oh, what?
Well done! Just a few more strikes!
Oh, wow, this thing's sluggish as heck. Wow. Oh, that was definitely an interesting fight.
Yet another gift of Fimbulwinter, I suppose.
Maybe.
The magic draining out of all of us has to end up somewhere.
Well, that's not good. Not good at all. But, you know, the concept has always been that these holidays have been celebrated, and, you know, the thing that people, well, I don't want to sit here and say have forgotten or forget, isn't exactly true, is that a lot of people just don't really know why holidays are celebrated anymore, or the origins of the holiday are celebrated. I mean, how many people remember, you know, in the spirit of this game, know that Odin is actually celebrated as, you know, as celebrated as Santa Claus in certain cases, or at least he was the original concept of Santa Claus. And, you know, it just goes back that, you know, a lot of our origins of our holidays have either been forgotten, or they're not taught anymore. And, you know, it's called, you know, what do you do in this instance? And the truth of the matter is there's not a lot we can do in this instance. Now, there will be those who disagree with me, but my answer to this, pointedly straight out, is that, you know, it doesn't really matter. Well, let me rephrase that, because that's actually not right. It's not that it doesn't matter, it's just that how can you expect things to be a certain way and expect things to change? And, you know, okay, so we have to make it ricochet and bounce. So that goes through there. So how do I... So assume... So let's change my angle then. Hold on a second, folks. I need to deal with something here. Hold on a second, folks. I need to deal with something. Sorry about that. I had to go deal with an issue and then I had to use the bathroom real quick. Did not mean to take that long. So I need to find a position where it hits. I need to get higher. Okay, I got it. That's definitely an interesting idea right there. Wild magic like that, taking a conscious form. Definitely an interesting conversion, if you will.
I wonder, how'd these two pups end up yoked to the sled?
Ever try flying in a sandstorm? I imagine Freyr showed the Dark Elves that Gulon could be trained to pull a plow. They must have found new uses for them once the sandstorm arrived. I imagine they're now bred to aid in traveling the surface.
Okay. Let's see about this real quick. So we go up through here. Plow through here. Okay, light off here.
Find you! Look out!
Ah. counter. Let's dodge. Not thinking that bad thing. And finish. Nope. Okay, wasn't expecting. What's this?
Light elf architecture. It's massive.
Treasure map complete. Forgotten tower, stonewood, and scattered rune. Okay. Okay. Well, I don't have another Yggdrasil tree amulet. What's through here then, I wonder? I'll go back and investigate that door in a minute. Realm tier.
A token.
A token.
Badge of honor.
The elves made few of that.
They hang them up outside their dwellings. Show their support for my brother.
Interesting. Realm tear. Wonder what's gonna come through when I stick my hand through this. Whoa! Something I am clearly not ready to deal with. Not even at the right level to deal with. Holy cow. What's my current level? New weapons. Oh, runic function. Invoke the storm. Meh. Armor. Svartalfheim's honor, safety. Vanaheim power. Oh! Okay, that's useful. Alfheim honor, virtue. Peak activation. Death from above. I don't know if I can get all of these and have a couple sets inlaid, that would be nice, but there's no point in doing that one. That's too high of a level. I mean, it is one, so it's not... Ooh, what's this? That's new. Ah, that key.
Something is coming, and it's not happy.
Oh, great. Whoa! What is... That thing's a Drake? Whoa. Dodge.
It's about to charge!
Watch out. Ow. Jump. Whoa. Oh. Probably ought to go and get... I gotta finally got the counter. Jump. Okay, I need to go get a resurrection stone. Okay, before we do that, let's go get me a resurrection stone. There's doing something, and then there's I need my second chance to do it. I'm pretty sure I'm gonna have to go back to Vanaheim and gonna have to go back to Vanaheim and give them that book. But let's go get me a resurrection stone, because that fight's completely able for me to do, but it's what am I looking for here? It's doable, just I'm going to need a resurrection stone to do it. Is that? Yeah, it is. Okay, looks like I need to do this. Because if I can get all of those, that will give me an up. That's probably going to be my last upgrade for the Blades of Chaos. So, let's go.
Another Draugr hole, brother.
You're on fire, Kratos. Give him fire.
That Draugr.
Aye. We fought it at the other Draugr hole, didn't we? Odd.
Not odd. It's called, what do you think? Ooh, realm dust. That's useful. It's called, what do you think's going to happen with Fimbulwinter? Bingo. Chaos Spark. I need to find the rest so I can get that Chaos Flame and upgrade the Blades of Chaos. But yeah. Anyway, back onto the subject I was talking about before I had to go deal with a couple things. Is that, is basically straightforward. Is that, if people really did understand where a lot, well, not where a lot comes from, but where the origins of certain traditions happened.
Completed some new blueprints. I think you'll find them useful.
Sword.
Anything for Freya?
Bifrost. Faulkner Whetstone.
Hope it's to your liking.
So I have to find those whetstones to upgrade both.
Something in mind?
Can't.
I'll disinfect my tools.
So now I can put another gem slot in. Okay.
Huh. That might be my best piece yet today.
Oh. Darn. Oh wow. Darn. Spent a lot. Radiance. It's best that I upgrade those to the max, because if I can upgrade them to the max, probably be my best armor, the Radiance set. Maybe. Special.
I'll heat up the forge.
Sather poison. Hilt of Emerald. Interesting.
And for the Valkyrie Queen?
Okay. Everything's level 2. So what does Freya have equipped? Okay, that's
Need
maxed.
something?
I don't. Okay, well I can't sell that. That's a problem.
Take care of your armor, and it'll take care of you.
So that part is,
Want
there
something in
is some
particular?
wisdom in that. Ugh. Of course. I don't have enough. Oh well. So, tributes to Freyr, family crests. Well, I prefer to have them all when I sold them, but...
I'll take them. Ooh, these will look fantastic in my storage chest. Did you, disinfect these? It's fine, I'll do it.
Did you disinfect these?
Whatever you need, I'll create.
Right now it's better that I have that dang resurrection stone.
Whatever you need, whenever you need it.
Okay. But, you know, a lot of... Oh, I need to do that too. And then... But, a lot of people forget where a lot of the origins of our holidays come from. And a lot of them came from, especially in the West, came from the pagan traditions of Yule, All Hallows Eve, and a couple others. I mean, sure, St. Patrick's Day, St. Valentine's Day, who actually comes from St. Valentine. Truth be told, those are more Christian holidays than others. Well, let's see. It would be Easter. Yeah, St. Patrick's Day, and Valentine's Day, or more appropriately, St. Valentine's Day, where these days originate from. Those days were actually more Christian than they are actually all pagan. But Christmas, or Christmas, Halloween, or All Hallows Eve, those have more pagan roots than they do nowadays. And the only reason why they're even celebrated by Christian countries has more to do with the fact that those holidays were still celebrated by the people of the lands they originated from, and because they were more celebrated by the people of the lands they came from, the church just more or less decided to take over the holidays, because not too many people will care to know this, but we really don't know when Jesus of Nazareth was born, because when Jesus was born, we didn't have the calendar we use nowadays. Because they actually measured by season, not by a calendar month. Because it was either season or winters. Well, more than likely they would have done it by winters, but still.
Something is coming, and it's not happy.
Things a break. it's, you know, dang it. Darn it. Looks like I was right about needing resurrection still. Kinda hoped I didn't need it, but it's all it wants to have. Oh. Oh, God. Oh, jeez. That was
What on
rough.
earth was a drake doing back there?
Your guess is as good as mine. Imprisoning a drake. Can't decide whether to be impressed or horrified.
Either way, it is over now.
Yeesh. Crab belly. Yay. Dragon claw. Okay. Dragon armor. I can dig. Interesting. Tooth. Well, I got some unique resources out of it. That's good. But you know, but now that I've got this kind of misunderstanding out of the way, you know, now some people will sit there and say, okay, what's the point of this? Well, the point is that Puritans didn't like the meshing of old beliefs with what they believed, and the Puritans were one of the biggest people who believed in that. So when the settlers came and they started colonizing the land, now people will sit there and say that, you know, they didn't colonize, they didn't settle the land, it was already settled. Well, here's a little bit of history for you. You know, you could say that the Native Americans settled these lands, but here's the problem. The natives were nomadic tribes. Nomadic means they moved from destination to destination, or camp to camp, if you will, because it suited their needs. You know, you might have, you know, one season you might not have settled in a specific camp or a specific area because the land wasn't fertile enough, because nothing would grow. So you couldn't camp there, so you went somewhere else, because there are a lot of tribes that were known for doing that. So was the land truly owned and settled? Well, if you want to say that, you know, they lived on that land when it was convenient for them, sure. But was it actually settled where people had a permanent residence there? No, they didn't. Now, I can already hear some natives saying it's still our land. And, you know,
I can hold on to those crests from Vanaheim, if you don't mind.
And, you know, I'm not
If you change your mind,
going to get into the debates and everything, but, you know, the point is, what's this? The Eyes of Odin in Niflheim, Vanaheim. Don't I have to return that book? The River Delta. Let's go to Freyr's camp. I think those elves want this book. But, you know...
We're heading back to Vanaheim?
There may be ravens to hunt.
I'm with you.
There are ravens to hunt. If I could figure out how to nail them with the axe. But, you know, did they actually have settlements built? Or were there settlements pick up and move? And there a lot of Native American settlements were pick up and move. Now, were there some permanent ones where rivers were? Yeah. There were. Not gonna lie, there were. But places where they didn't have the technology to settle, did they settle? No, they didn't. They promptly left those places alone. Some of them they did kind of turn into what? Native. They did kind of make certain places religious for them. Burial grounds and the such, you know, that's true. Oh, I got all of Alfheim's. Okay. That's interesting. What's this? Okay. So that's good. A lot of these are laborers, so. Interesting. Okay, that's useful. Okay, let's... So that's skills. It's not what I want to do. Rage. Okay. We'll increase valor here. A lot of health. Whatever health increase I can get is best. Freyr's camp. Okay, so we go... I guess we go back that way then. But, you know, a lot of people assume that, you know, the natives had permanent settlements. And the truth is that, you know, there were some places where the natives had permanent settlements. But the truth was that they actually didn't have permanent settlements. They were nomadic. They moved around. It's not what they did. They moved around from season to season. You know, they moved where it was more convenient for them to be. You know, they moved, you know, staying with where the wild game was. If the game moved, they had to follow it. Otherwise, they didn't have a proper food source. You know, it's... You know, I'm not trying to besmirch I'm not trying to besmirch what happened to the natives, because is it true that when settlers came, they did get knocked off their land? Yeah, there is truth to that. But, you know, the thing that they also don't tell you is that what some of the natives did was just really, really bad. Now, some will sit there and say they did it out of self-defense. But the truth is that you know, without the natives' helps, more than likely the settlers that came to know them at first probably wouldn't have survived the first winter there, more than likely. Or if they did, it wouldn't have gone. Or if they did survive, it would have really been a small amount. And that, you know, if they and you know, Europeans may have given up on settling, quote unquote, settling the land. Now, I can already hear some people scoffing at that, you know, why would they not? And, you know, the straightforward answer is, well, yeah, the straightforward answer is here, folks, is that if the natives hadn't have helped the colonists in those early years, or at least tried to make peace with them in the early years, there's a reasonable likelihood that the colonists probably wouldn't have survived. Why is that? Well, a lot of the settlers were coming to a land that was widely unsettled, no cities, and a lot of them grew up in cities or farms around a city, or they're close to. And you take people who've normally been in settled situations where there's more along the lines of cities like London or very large townships where there's a general store, a bar, or something of the sort. You know, those things would have been more commonplace, and they ended up nowhere near that and in the wild, and you had to, and there was no place for you to go trade money for food. So it's,
I hope we have a chance to talk further, Mimir. Always nice to meet a fellow scholar. And Kratos, I understand your homeland is famed for philosophers. When things quiet down, I'd love to hear their ideas. And your own.
I have nothing to say that will interest you.
Nonsense, brother. I've heard many a wise word past those sunburned lips.
It's all right, Mimir. My wife is much the same way.
Careful.
Quiet, but very deep.
Acceptable.
Whew. She loves me so much.
So what am I supposed to do with this journal then? Huh? Oh! Apply a mod token. So I either get damage, stun. Let's increase the damage. Oh, I don't have enough experience. Okay. Okay. So... okay, something doesn't make sense to me. Let's go over here for a second.
So, Brock, if Lunda can step between realms to travel about like you, I presume it must be the guild you know each other from.
Maybe. Or maybe I just showed her a few tricks while we were tying one on.
Or maybe I showed him. You don't know us, Clever Pants.
Okay. Consul's journal. Huh. Interesting. It tells me I need it as an artifact, but it's not really giving me much of anything. Interesting. I wonder why. Hmm. Nothing special about it. Alright, I guess I'll keep a hold of it. It's not like it's gonna do me any good anyway. I mean, it is worth a fair bit of hack silver, but... eh. Let's see... Alright, let's get out of here. This is not the right way, is it? I don't think so. Nope. There's something there. I'll have to check that out later. So... let's take that off the compass then. What's this?
An old Vanaheim lullaby.
Oh. Cute. But, you know, how many people can honestly sit there and say that? But, bleh, I lost my train of thought. But anyway, the natives didn't have really large towns, settlements built. They had settlements, yes. But did they have permanent settlements? Not in the way that most people consider something permanent. And it's... but as things go on, it's more along the lines of, who settled the land, and, you don't want to get into the topic of conquering versus conquered here, because if you do, a lot of people who are Native American take it personally. And what do I say that? I mean, if you sit there and go to a Native American tribe and say, do you think that the land that the white man took from you should be given back? They'll say yes. Now, as you go from there, you ask this next question. Seeing as that the white man gave you this land back, who owned this land before your tribe? And, according to their history, it'll be this tribe. And then you pose this question. Okay, then, aren't you going to give it back to them? Niflheim. Oh, let's go back to Senior's house. And, they'll sit there and say, no, it's our land.
Well, brother, before you see the lad again, might we discuss an approach?
He will tell me where he has been. That is my approach.
Ah, classic Spartan diplomacy.
Did you say Odin invited him to Asgard, and then he disappeared for 2 days?
Aye, but surely the lad's got more sense than
Don't underestimate Odin's powers of persuasion.
Uh-oh.
He filled my son's head with lies. Why wouldn't he do the same with yours?
Yeah, that's true. But, they'll sit there and say it, we fought,
you tell that one-eyed nutsucker he owes me one.
Fight me now and eternally.
Well, looky there. Glad you could make the trip, your goddessness. I put your sigil magic on the young turd's bow. But then he and Sindri got into it over something. I don't rightly know who's yelling at who in there, but I figure they both got it coming.
Wonderful.
Well, come on then. Hey, Tyr! Wake up! You got company. Now why don't you just make yourself at home in Sindri's so-called study over yonder?
You're sure you won't mind?
Mine? You'll be thrilled. Joint's getting classier by the
Can it be? I never thought I'd have the pleasure of seeing you again, Frigg.
Don't call me that. I haven't been that person in a long time. But I'm happy to see you too. I'd feared the worst for so long. What you must have been through.
Nothing so bad as what you've suffered.
Aw.
Freya, I am so sorry to hear what happened to Baldur. He was only a boy when I saw him last, but I know he meant more to you than anything.
Yes.
Aw. That's sad.
And to forbear your vengeance in this way, it's truly an inspiration for those of us who believe in peace.
The only peace.
Oh wow, they're really going at it.
Better screw his head back on, and I mean tightly.
Woo!
So you're back.
Are you ready to answer me?
Ow!
About what?
Where did you go? Who did you see? Was it Odin?
What? Is that what you think?
Do you deny it? Answer me! Did you go to Asgard?
No! Of course not. And so what if I did? It's my future, it's my life.
You are my son.
Then why don't you trust me?
If you want me to trust you, then tell me the truth.
The truth is you're being a complete asshole.
Ooh!
You know that's no way to change a man's mind.
He doesn't have any faith in me. It's fine
Oh,
if he keeps
come on.
secrets. It's fine if Mom did.
It is not fine. Her secrets ought to be stuck with this path.
Oh, okay. So you don't believe in her anymore either?
This is not about your mother.
Ooh!
What you have
Ouch.
done is lie.
Wonder where I learned that.
That's
Ooh!
Since when do you
Testy.
always take his side?
Since he became the one making sense.
Look, I was only thinking about going to Odin, but I swear it's for a good reason.
There is no good reason to go to Odin.
It will only cloud your mind.
But I'd be going for us. I gotta stop something bad from happening.
Something bad did happen. Look at me. And Freya and Tyr. Odin did this to us.
What's got everyone caterwauling all of a sudden?
Atreus
look.
wants to go to Asgard.
Asgard? Get kicked in the head or something?
Great. I guess everybody's against me now.
You must choose who you are going to be. Are you going to continue to lie and keep things from me? Are you my son?
Choose?
Choose?
I never get to choose. Just leave me alone.
Listen.
Oh, yeah.
Let go of me.
Listen.
I said let go!
Oh, he goes bear.
Atreus! It's Sindri. Just try to keep control.
Ooh. Oh. Kid, come on. Atreus, come on, dude. You know, protecting people is one thing, but doing something really dumb is another thing, kid. And now you're back in Midgard in the middle of Fimbulwinter. Hey, kid. Uh-oh.
Freezing cold, lots of Hellwalkers, definitely in Midgard. Urvahuta!
Let's go.
Keep it coming. You're just helping me stay warm.
Oh, watch out.
Yeah.
Ow.
Home sweet home.
darn it. My bad. Ugh. Damn. But, you know, when you ask, okay, well, since you took this land from this tribe, shouldn't you give it back? And they'll be like, no, it's our land.
Lots of Hellwalkers.
And, you know, this is the point where it's like, wait. Let me get this straight.
Keep it coming.
The white man came in with his technology, his improvements, and, you know, basically defeated the tribes.
When did it get so bad out here? Yep. Home sweet home.
And, you know, you have all of these people, you know, complaining. And it's like, wait a minute. If your tribe defeated another tribe and took this land from them, and then isn't that a bit hypocritical? No. I can already hear some people saying it's not hypocritical. Well, again, if you knowingly took...
At least something out here doesn't want to kill me.
What's that? Find shelter. That's nice. But, you know, when you sit there and, like...
Nope.
and
already been this way.
And do, you know, a brief examination of the logic, you know, reasonably you have to ask this question. And that question is not so much, you know, who...
Just need someplace warm. Then I can figure out where to go next. That doesn't look good.
The hell?
What is this thing? Some kind of white? Help up!
Oh, good, I countered. But, you know, the thing that, you know, it's not going to be understood is that how hypocritical that is. Now, they're going to sit there and say it's not hypocritical, it's our land. Well, if you took it from this tribe, and, you know, we're in the context of returning what was taken, it is not originally yours. Oh, wisp orbs, okay. But it has to be said that, you know, if you're going to sit here and claim that something is yours, then you need to actually sit here and...
You trying to tell me something?
Well, you know, I'm just going to go with the simplest explanation here is...
First, I've been to Asgard. Then, Lon.
Well, kid, you didn't exactly tell him you went to Jotunheim.
I'm trying to save your life, you big jerk.
Yeah, but did you let him know that by chance? That you found out something and, you know, you want to protect him? Or did you just run off without saying anything, and now it's like, you know, what is wrong with this kid? And, you know, you didn't even, you know, give him the chance to, you know, logic is something, but when, I mean, I get that Agraboda made a promise, but all you have to do is really tell Kratos, was that, you know, you made a promise similar to the promise that Kratos and Frey had, and, you know, he might, as long as, you know, you didn't go to Asgard, you know, Kratos might let it go. Infringement on the word there, might, because as someone who's also a parent, you know, there's the whole keeping a promise to your kid, and then there's the whole, you know, I expect an answer out of you deal here too. But, you know, back onto the subject of the Native Americans and their, what they say, you know, is it, oh, what? You know, is it right, fair? You know, the truth of that answer is that, you know, if they expect the white man to give back the quote-unquote land that the white man took, and then they're not going to return to the lands they took it from, then, you know, the real answer, the real, you know, some people might sit here and say that that's...
Where could I go? If I go to Asgard, following the prophecy where Father ends up dead, if I stay locked up at home, there's nothing I can do to stop it. I guess in Asgard, I could at least keep an eye on Odin. Be a spy. Find out his plan. Get control of this. Oh, who am I kidding? I can't go to Asgard. Wait, are those red leaves? Freya's house.
Sanctuary.
No. Charlie?
He must be hibernating.
Charlie.
He's a turtle.
Please. Charlie.
He's hibernating.
Hey, big guy.
But
I'm here now. Don't you worry.
But, you know,
I need to get you warm.
but the truth
You're gonna have to stand
is
to let me into that house. Think you can do that?
is more
Come on, Charlie.
that
You have to do this.
the truth is that, you know, if
You don't... Emily! Emily!
the truth is that if you conquer and not, and when a more advanced group comes in and takes over, you know, it's, oh, what's the best way to say
buddy.
this?
I know. It's cold in here.
What's this?
We should close that window before snooping around.
Close the window.
Rhea hasn't been checking on you?
Oh, poor thing.
Right. Too busy hunting us down. Come on. Let's get you warmed up. Should be able to make a fire from all this mess. Wow. It's beautiful.
What
Never
is
seen
it?
anything like this around here before. From her home in Vanaheim? She must have really missed it.
But
Is this Baldur's?
yeah,
Wonder how Father was able to earn her forgiveness.
well, in a way he didn't. In a way he did.
Valkyrie armor? Does this go with the wings on the wall? From her friend? Wonder what happened to her.
Sigrun?
I can't believe she never came back to check on her house. To
But-
check on you.
But I will...
It's not an excuse.
But after we get through this little bit, I need to I'm gonna wrap up the game. So we'll just get this little bit going, and then I'm gonna get off stream. I've been on for a bit too long. So I'm gonna wrap this up in any case here in a moment as soon as this is done. Well, whatever's done. But thanks for watching the stream. I'm gonna cut it out here as soon as the... Well, this isn't exactly cutscene, but you know, as soon as this whole situation's over.
Just can't let my dad die too. There's gotta be something I can do.
I know I am. I'm just waiting for this to finish, then I'm on. Go. Aw, poor Atreus can't stay. Packing. Ah, the raven.
It's okay, buddy. I think he's here for me.
It's definitely Odin's
I'll be
raven.
okay. I think. Okay. I'm ready. Take me to him.
Oh. Interesting. Wow. That's actually interesting. Whoa! That was a little too high. Wow. Yay, Atreus. That's one hell of a landing. Asgard. Wow. It's a beautiful place, isn't it?
Should have learned to swim before Midgard froze over.
Follow Odin's raven.
Hello? I'm here.
Alright,
Odin?
everybody. We are done for today. A little longer than I should have, but
Hey, wait up.
I thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed, and I will see everybody in the next video. Take care.